the case either. A lot of bands are just canceling their summer and fall plans now. So, but I noticed on your social media that you're a huge advocate on saving bees, which I think is incredible. And I hate to sound dumb here, but you've brought a lot of awareness to me regarding bees, and I never knew how vital and essential bees were to our planet, let alone amazing creatures. And I was doing a lot of research today, and I didn't even realize a single bee can pollinate like 300 million flowers a day, which I think is incredible. What got you into the whole bee thing?
My father had bees, and so I never took care of the bees or really had. I don't really even have an awareness of the bees much when I was growing up. But I do know that honey appeared, buckets of honey would appear every summer, miraculously in the kitchen. And
I love honey.
Yeah, and I just couldn't believe it when I was a kid. We'd bake fresh bread and then we would put fresh honey on it. So my father, fell in 2014 and couldn't take care of anything on the farm. So the sisters, three of us had to take over the farm duties. And he had one hive. And because bees, really, you only need to check on them every couple of weeks, I'm the one that did the bees. Because of my life, there was no way I could be here, very much, because I was always traveling and doing this and that. So I took a bee class just so I would have some kind of idea what in the heck, because I had no idea what to do. Zero.
You were going in blind pretty much.
Totally. And the very beginning of the class, they showed a video about honeybees, and I was hooked in 30 seconds. I was just like you. You think you were ignorant about bees. I was really ignorant about bees. I just didn't know anything about them. And I was hooked. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how beautiful they are, because they showed this video of like really up close, like some really high-tech videos. You could see them flying. You could see everything about them when they were collecting the pollen and everything. And I was hooked. And then it just turned out that I'm good at it. I took a couple more classes. I took a class at Rutgers University, and I took an online class from the University of Pennsylvania that they have. And then I just jumped in. We bought another hive. Then I would have two hives, and I started doing it. And I was not good at it, obviously. I didn't know what I was doing. And then I found this mentor of this really incredible guy, this old guy. He's still my mentor, and he is the one that changed my beekeeping. He showed me how to do it. He showed me what to look for. He showed me how to read the frames when you pull the frames out of the hive. And that's when I started to become a beekeeper. And 5 years later, here I am. My mentor can't come here and help because we're social distancing, and he's older, and he has to be very careful.
Yeah.
So I am doing it all by myself for the first time. Yeah.
I don't know how full of protective gear that you wear, but don't you get stung quite often? Or
No. Well, actually, yeah, you do. Yes, even with the bee suit. So I wear a bee suit and I wear gloves. I didn't always wear gloves because, and you know what, when you start, I don't think you should wear gloves, because what happens is when you use your bare hands, you learn how to move really, really slowly in the hive, because bees don't want to sting you, because when they sting you, they die. So it's not like a wasp or a hornet or something. They can sting you multiple times and they live.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But yes.
I thought they all died.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Honeybees die. So when I started learning, I didn't wear any gloves. And so I learned how to move really slowly so not to upset the bees. But, as time goes on, you can't help it. Sometimes you'll put your hand in there and it just touch a bee and it gets scared and it stings you. So I had to start wearing gloves because it's hard to play violin when you've got bee stings on your hands, you know.
Oh.
But sometimes I'll still get stung through the suit, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing like a really have to go in the hive and do some kind of like a swarm manipulation, like what I'm doing right now, I've been stung twice through the gloves and through the suit because of doing these extreme manipulations of the hive.
Wow.
And that's just natural, you know. Yeah. It just is what it is.
They can, I mean, I don't know how thick your gloves and your suit is, but they can really go through your whole suit like that with their stinger?
Yes. Very. Now, I have like a high-tech suit. It has several layers. And it you know, there's different types of suit, but mine is pretty high-tech. So it really is hard for them to sting through a suit. It is hard. And the gloves, I have leather gloves, and it's hard for them to sting through that. But if they really try, and if it's just your fingers in just the right spot, they can get you.
Wow. Another thing that I think is really important, and this is what brought me awareness of the bees. Last week or so, you posted a photo of a dandelion, and you were talking about how vital they were as food for bees due to the pollen. And you were mentioning about not putting weed killer on lawns because of the pesticides and herbicides, which are killers to the honeybees. And I'm glad you said that, because every year I get my lawn sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. And this was the year that I decided, you know what, I'm not going to do that, because it made me research a lot more. And pesticides is a huge killer to these bees. Yes.
Yes. And thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much for not spraying your yard this year. And this is what, you know, I swear to God, I feel like it's a calling. You know, I'm the last person on the planet that should have been a beekeeper. Seriously, you know, and I don't even like to get dirty, you know what I mean? But now I've become like this girl that will go out there and like be in a suit and sweat and like, you know, do the bee thing and schlep boxes and get sticky from all the honey, and, you know, but I think it's a calling, just like the violin was. This is some kind of calling that I was supposed to learn this and tell people and bring awareness to this, you know, how important these insects and pollinators are to us. And and that people don't understand. They don't know that you shouldn't be putting Roundup. Most of these lawn groomers that you have come over put Roundup and stuff on your lawn to make it beautiful, quote unquote, and they kill everything. They kill everything, and that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem with colony collapse of the honeybee is because they don't have anywhere to go. Everywhere is poison, and it's very much the same feeling. Like, I can relate to these bees now. We have a silent killer out there that's killing everyone in the world called the coronavirus, and it's trying to kill us. And it's a silent killer. This is exactly what's happening to the bees and pollinators, is the things we're doing to the planet are silently killing these bees because they don't know. They go to these flowers and they don't know they've been sprayed. And
it ends up killing them.
And they take all this poison back to the hive.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and like I just said a little bit ago, I didn't even realize that a single bee colony, you know, pollinates up to 300 million flowers. I mean, that's a lot of flowers.
Yes.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know,
so I think it's 1 in every 3 bites of food we take is pollinated by pollinators. You know, we need pollinators,
right,
to eat.
You know, and another thing too, that since I was doing a lot more research and stuff, is that how important it is to support your local beekeepers. You know, I started buying honey from local beekeepers, and like they even do soaps and candles. I didn't even know that.
Yes.
So you how ignorant I was.
Well, it's okay. I mean, you know, you only know what you know. So if I was able to open your eyes to, like, go to your farmer's market and buy some honey, and then you also see that they make all this other cool stuff. Hurrah!
Yeah.
I've touched one life. Woo!
Yeah, I couldn't believe it because it was a decent sized store, and I've always passed it. I'm like, what the hell do they sell in these stores that as a beekeeper? And I walked in, and they have jars and jars of honey, and it's the best honey I've ever tasted. And they had soaps and lotions and all that. And it's vital to support these local beekeepers because that money helps to support what they do. And
that's right. And I sell my honey. I'm sure you've noticed online. I sell my honey, and people, that sells out every year, and people are so supportive to buy it because that every bit of that money goes into a bank account that's for the bees.
Right.
And that's what we use that money for. Is we buy equipment like boxes. You have to buy frames, foundation. It buys organic seed to plant things, like if you saw any of my videos, you saw that we planted rapeseed last year. We plant buckwheat. These are all clover. These are all things that you have to plant to help the bees sustain themselves. So that's all part of it. Is
wow.
Raising healthy bees. And so when people buy that honey that I sell, that's where that money goes. And it's just incredible. It's so important. It means so much to me that people do support that.
I did not know that you sold your own honey, so I am actually going to go buy some. Where, for people that are listening right now, where could we go to buy it? You said on your website?
Well, actually, I'm working on a new website, which isn't up yet.
Okay.
And that will have, my old website, which is still up, doesn't have a link to honey. But what I do is I usually post on Facebook when it's for sale. And and I take orders, and it's a first come, first serve thing. And it happens at the end of June, beginning of July is when I do it. And it usually sells out very quickly. And I just take, I write down everyone's name and, send them an invoice and whatever. That's usually how I do it. Now, with this new website, we're going to be able to have people just order from it online. And that way, yeah. But that doesn't happen till the honey season is over. So that's around June. That's when I know how much I got and how much I have to sell.
Okay.
But our honey, Jerry, my honey has done very well. I mean, I've won blue ribbons several times at the state level in Maryland for the best honey.
Well, as soon as you have some for sale, I'm going to buy a bulk order, and I'm going to try it.
Oh, you know what? One other thing I wanted to say. Well, thank you for that. One other thing I wanted to say is that, people can plant bee-friendly stuff in their yards, and it's really beautiful stuff. Like you could plant peonies. You can plant lavender. If you've never had a lavender bush, you cannot believe how beautiful a lavender bush is. You can plant marigolds, black-eyed Susans, sage. A sage plant is gorgeous, and bees love it. You can plant chives and thyme and oregano. So there are so many wonderful bee-friendly, pollinator-friendly plants that you can plant around your yard that will bring color, and you'll just love hearing all these like bumblebees and honeybees and all these. It makes your yard so alive and beautiful.
And another thing too to add to that is I was watching a video about this person who they create their own bee baths. They put like a bunch of stones in water for these bees to kind of sit on top of these little stones, so they're able to drink water.
Yes, we have them here too, and that's exactly right. You take like a bird bath, or you take like some sort of a pan, ceramic or something, and you can put marbles in it. You can put stones in it. You can even put corks, like wine bottle corks. You can float them in it, and you just keep it filled with water, and then the bees have something they can stand on, because they'll drown pretty easily. So you have to have stuff they can stand on, and And that's great because then they don't have to go far. Or if they're tired, they can stop and get a drink of water and then move on to get home.
Wow, that's interesting. And like I said too, when you get your honey up and running and stuff, I'm going to pay attention to your Facebook, and I'm definitely going to buy a bulk order. So
thank you.
Was there anything? was there anything else you wanted to say about bees? Because, like I said, I think it's very important, and I'm kind of glad you brought some awareness to it. Because I never realized how important this is.
No, I think that we covered the important topics. The main thing is don't put that stuff on your yard.
Yeah.
Don't. Tell your friends. Tell your friends.
I have. I've told my colleagues, my friends. Like I said, this is the first year that I have never put any kind of pesticides or herbicides on our lawn. I was just telling my fiance that the other day. I was kind of educating her about it too, and it's right. This stuff kills the bees. So.
They have little signs that you can buy that because I know some people live in neighborhoods where it's, kind of stuffy and everyone's expected to have the perfect this and the perfect that. We need to have a new paradigm of what is considered beautiful. Instead of a perfectly flat green lawn, a lawn of dandelions and wild, young wildflowers is the most beautiful thing you can have. But they have these signs you can buy, like this is a bee-friendly yard or this is a pollinator-friendly yard. If you stick that in there, everyone will understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then there's no way they can possibly say anything to you, otherwise they'll be a big jerk.
Well, I'm gonna like you were saying a little bit ago, I'm gonna plant some black-eyed Susans and some sage and stuff that's healthy for these bees and other insects.
Yes. And lavender. Get some lavender.
Lavender.
Love
yeah.
the lavender.
Lavender. Well, Lorenza, I really sincerely thank you for coming on today and talking about everything. And it was truly great and really an honor to be able to sit here and chat with you. And I
so great to talk to you, Jerry.
And I hope you and your family stay safe. And I hope to see you somewhere on a stage soon.
Yes, definitely. You stay safe and stay positive.
All right. Thank you, Lorenza. I appreciate it.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.